episode 2.
Diving.
Luis Suarez.
Ronaldo.
Watching Tottenham was shit.
He's not a man. There's nothing more to
He
say.
is nothing. Yeah, welcome to Diving for Glory. It's your boy Pep Corciola, Sir Solomon. What up?
What's up? So much football.
Yo, this week on D4G, we are going to look at all the craziness in the EPL, preview the other Big 5 leagues, and just generally talk cash shit. Starting with
Arsenal, where Wenger thought himself into a corner he almost couldn't get out of before his super subs rescue him.
And at Stamford Bridge, Gary Cahill did his best impression of the Brexit, taking it to the extreme.
Tottenham made light work of the fat Spanish waiters' return to the Premier League with a clean 2-0 win over Newcastle, helped by ASAP Shelby and his terrible lunge.
And Liverpool recovered from shitting the bed, only to simply piss the bed, and ironically left sitting in their own Liverpool.
Jose Mourinho unleashed his hip-hop movement with all the European Africans coming to West Ham to tear up stuff.
While Man City kept it quite simple. Yeah. And then over the English Channel through France, we'll go to Spain. Super sub Ronaldo took the opportunity to show his amazing skills, his amazing spray tan, and then the size of his amazing twat.
Busy man. He pushed the referee like he was a chick that asked him if his spray tan was real or fake.
Oh, damn. And then to the boot.
Ciro Immobile, a man called Immobile, undoes Juventus.
Nice. We're also going to look at all the major strikers who had an immediate impact similar to that of a Mangala first touch.
So many goals.
While OG Uncle Wayne Rooney scores on his return to Goodison Park.
Welcome home, Shrek.
Wearing blue. Man, let's get on with it.
Yeah.
Alright, we in the back four. At our left back position, we are going to start with all the craziness in the EPL.
Opening weekend.
England got it cracking. The Arsenal game was crazy, but we're going to touch on that a little later.
Boy, was it fucking nuts this weekend.
That's a good way to start, though.
Yes, the Arsenal game was an interesting start. 4-3, we thought it was crazy at the time, but soon came to realize that was going to be the norm this weekend. Liverpool come out next on Saturday morning.
Please, don't ask me this shit.
Yes, and that.
Klopp, we got shit to ask, man. Sorry, bro.
Oh, yeah. Liverpool came out. Phil Coutinho's not playing because he's Klopp-plucked from going to Barcelona. Mo Salah, Roberto Firmino, and Mane do their thing, each scoring a goal. And yet Liverpool don't get the points. Why? Midfield is terrible, exposing that hilarious defense even more. Their pass rate of 73.8% in this game would have led to being 15th last season. So anyways, they dropped 2 points after struggling and coming back to a 3-2 winning position. They lose 2 points, finish 3-3. And we're thinking, wow, that's as bad as it can get. Haha, no. Not to be undone, our boys from London. Chelsea step up. The defending champions. Yes.
That's what they would have to say to you, man.
Yes. They came. The coach also taught himself into a corner. He put in Michi the Bishi over Morata, and this was the conversation piece before the game. Why did he do that? Why is Morata on the bench? Was it because he missed that penalty?
Nah, he had already covered his ass. Conte had already covered his ass. Morata is not ready for the English league. It'll take him a while.
It doesn't even matter. Between getting bombasted by Sean Dyche's team in the first half and Gary Cahill's idiotic tackle, Morata ended up having a dream debut with 1 goal and 1 assist go to waste in a 3-2 loss.
Sam Vokes. Ooh.
First time ever a Premier League champion has given up 3 goals on opening day.
Damn. And they lost 2 players who will be out for next week's game.
That is going to be quite disastrous. They have Pedro, Hazard, Fabregas, Gary Cahill, Bakayoko not available for a game against Tottenham, where you can pencil in another 2 or 3 injuries bouncing off those big Tottenham guys.
And yeah, no Modric there. Yeah, they're gonna get
Might
that
start
work
the
Sam.
season off with a 6-point deficit,
like they did last year, pretty much.
except with better teams.
Yup. So let's move on to newly promoted Huddersfield, putting
Yes.
it to Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace. Huddersfield came to London, looked at Crystal Palace with their new coach, Frank de Boer, and laughed at him with a simple aerial attack that Crystal Palace couldn't handle with their cute pressing football style. 2 goals from Steven Mounier out of Benin.
Grand Mounier.
Yes,
Drink
the
some
man. He came out of nowhere. Everybody talking about all these strikers. Steven Mounier with 2 goals. And, of course, the customary Crystal Palace own goal. Clean 3-0 victory had them at the top of the league.
I know, and I'm like, damn, how could Big Sam let that happen?
Haha, Big Sam is home.
That's right. He retired. I'd probably retire rather than coach Crystal Palace, too. Unless they need, all he does is just stay right out of relegation. Like, that's his specialty.
Yes.
Either way. And then there was Manchester City.
Yeah, they just calmly walked over Brighton behind a slimmed up Sergio Aguero and 90% passing.
Yeah.
Unheard of accuracy.
Brighton held it together for a long time in that game, though. Very solid in the back defensively. They're going to be a tough point going forward, I think.
Yeah, but held it together is hard to give credit for when the murderer's row that was the Manchester City bench could have just got unleashed at any time and it could have all come to naught anyways.
Yeah. Either way, and completely outshined, or whatever the correct conjugation of that is, across the city.
Jose Mourinho looked across the city, looked across the league, said, I see you come from behind victories. I see you easy 2-0, and I raise you hip hop.
Demolition, son. Ooh.
Pogba, Lukaku, Tony Marshall, Rashford,
and Bailly.
Woo, all of them. They just rocked West Ham. Otto guarding the door behind. Nobody gets past Matic. Pogba and Johnny Kills run riot and just tear up an absent West Ham.
Don't forget the Armenian terror, man.
Henrik Mkhitaryan, the midfield Armenian.
Man,
2
crushing
assists.
it, dude.
2 assists and much respect.
Yeah, he crushed it. I had to say, though, the most impressive thing about United for me was just that it was the energy, man. Like, a lot of times, and being a City guy, you see it, they just show up like, oh, we're just so much better than everybody else. But they don't play with the same energy and passion. And, man, they played 90 minutes.
Yeah,
Like,
that
we
game
just
had
went to
all
whoop
the makings
their
of like a layup, though.
Okay.
West
Why?
Ham didn't really show up. Once they got ahead, West Ham gave up. They were making their passes with plenty of space. The real question is, how well do they play against like an actual team? Like the first game of Lukaku and Mourinho's second season was not going to look any different than this.
An offensive outburst. But this just makes Josie more resolute in sitting back when it comes time.
If you have a porous defense, it's not like Jose Mourinho is opposed to scoring on you.
It's true. It looks like there could be a quite potentially dangerous team, though, if he does the right things and picks the right lineups. And that Rashford on the wing was just nasty, man.
Rashford and Mkhitaryan on the 2 wings with Pogba and Mata in the center and Lukaku up front. That has the potential to be just absolutely intimidating team.
Yeah, they're huge. They're huge. They can
Oh,
get,
yeah.
They can get.
So it's really the huge, strong, physical presences that are at Manchester United under the defensive mind of Jose Mourinho against the small, fast, creative minds led by the offensive genius, Pep Guardiola. This is going to be an amazing competition all through the season.
The derbies this year should be something to watch. It'll be old school Josie Pep. Like the teams are kind of made in these guys' images but I will say that maybe outside of the Madrid team, like this is probably off like technically Josie's strongest team. Like the dudes have so much technical talent.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Oh, man, that's a lot, dude. Look at all the people you just named. Look at all that offensive talent.
No. Ricardo Carvalho, John Terry, Deco, Frank Lampard, Didier Drogba, this is not even Ashley Cole.
The old Chelsea teams. That's what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they were dope. They were
dope. I hated them, but they were hugely talented and much more talented in defensive positions.
Okay. Technically, yes. They got as much on the ball skill as this team has.
Yes.
Okay. True. All right. Well, man, that was a good opening weekend.
Arjen Robben.
That was a fun. Yeah, they did, man. I don't.
Sharing time with Damien Duff was amazing. Ed Gudjonsson, who ended up in Barcelona, was amazing.
And I don't want to hear about Robin and his flapping wrists, man.
Hey, man, diving for glory, man.
Him and Sterling, it's like he's Sterling's mentor or something.
Gotta go for it, man.
You got to hold your wrists out like this as you run towards the guy, because then he'll be focused on your wrists.
I imagine all those guys, the defenders, think that as he's running away in celebration after he's dived and won a penalty and beat him.
Oh my God, dude, he's the man. He should damn near be our spokesman for diving for glory.
Hey, Arjen, holla at your boy.
Holla. All right, man. That was an exciting first weekend, man, and I feel like we had to spend a little extra time.
The bar was set high.
Yeah, a little extra time on that, man. But let's move on, man. We're gonna preview the other 4 leagues. Even though French League has started, but we're gonna still call it a preview. We haven't talked about them outside of anything Neymar. And we're going to start in our center back position. We're going to go ahead and take it to Italy.
Italia.
In Italy, the only thing black that's accepted is the hand and truffles.
Indeed. Well, they better get used to the big black guys that AC Milan just bought.
Yeah, straight up, man. So,
in Italy, BBC is Barzagli, Bonucci, and Chiellini.
Oh, damn. Oh, shit. But either way, man, Serie A.
Yes, Juventus is home.
Let's recap last year, man. Last year, Juve won for the, third year in a row?
Umpteenth time.
35th year in a row.
They're so, they're dominating it so much, they're like, you know what? We're going to have a striker that doesn't like big moments, and we're still going to beat you by a shitload of points, run away from you, and the only problem was that Champions League final.
Yeah. And then they got the throwing them things in the locker room.
No, Bonucci gets into the Dybala, bitch might have been said. You know how it goes. Next thing you know, when the dust settles, Bonucci's in AC Milan. Dybala has the number 10 jersey. Dani Alves has bamboozled them into freeing him to go to Man City so he could go to Paris. Good thing none of their opponents have money.
Yeah. They could still make a few moves. I think they were trying to get a few players on loan.
They got Douglas Costa on a steal.
Yeah, from Bayern, right?
Yeah, and in that league, I think he could destroy people.
Yeah, easily see that.
In the meantime, their closest competitors were Roma and Napoli last season.
Yep.
Both have one has stalled and the other has gone backwards.
Yep. Yep, Roma lost a couple players.
Napoli has stayed put, hoping that Arcadia Milik's comeback is going to be like a new signing.
Yep.
And Roma sold Mo Salah to Liverpool, where he's doing basically the same thing he was doing at Roma, playing really nice in draws. And Rudiger is at Chelsea. Both of them hope they enjoyed their bonuses because they both haven't done anything. But while they were bullshitting, AC Milan out of nowhere comes out and buys like so many players, like 8 big players over the summer.
Bonucci was a surprise move for a lot of people.
Bonucci, yeah, because his falling out with Dybala ends up like having him and the coach Allegri falling out. He ends up in Milano.
Dybala must be a cunt, man. I mean, his name is Dybala, but like Messi, like that was the rumor for they wouldn't let
the creative players are always the cunts, you know. The artists are emotional.
Yeah. Let's go. All right. So, Milan made a lot of moves.
Milan made so many. Bonucci, Kessie, Andre Silva. I call him Turkish Hakan from Leverkusen. Kanantonglu or something. And Ricardo Rodriguez, also from Germany, Wolfsburg. Like, these are just a few of the names they got. They got another guy called Conti, because in Italy you have to have a Conti and a Conti and a Conti at your team.
And with your Chianti, of
With
course.
your Chianti, of course. Anything less is uncivilized.
Oh,
But
man.
they bought so much. Inter went and got Luciano Spalletti to come and make the team more professional. He's a respected coach in the Italian circle. He's very good at finishing in Champions League spots.
They held on to Perisic so far and Icardi.
Yes,
That's key. They haven't really
it is
added
key.
much,
It
but
is key who they held on to. But I think at the numbers being quoted, like losing Perisic might not be as bad as it sounds.
agreed.
The money is more important at this point. But they have a veteran team that just needed leadership, so they didn't really need to throw that much into the team. They just needed Luciano Spalletti to come and do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
with all that being said, do you think anyone will actually challenge Juve?
no. I think we are a year away from anybody challenging Juventus, and I think that team is eventually going to be AC Milan.
Okay. And you think that will... Well, do you think that... matter of fact, give me your top 3. Do you think AC Milan makes Champions League this year?
Yes, I'm guessing that AC Milan makes second place this year. The Chinese investors have borrowed from very aggressive hedge funds to finance some of their loans, and that is why they have bought so high, and they're trying to make sure they get to a Champions League spot because they need that money because it's like to make the payment back. So
Man, couldn't...
their project has been forced to be accelerated, and that's interesting.
Man, could they chip in with, like, could them and Inter go in and, like, please get a new pitch? Man, the San Siro looks like the damn hedgehog from, or the gopher from Caddyshack lives there.
And it's been hosting Bunga Bunga parties for like 50 years, man. Leave it alone, man. You know how much shit Berlusconi has done there? The lines are cocaine.
You know how many bodies
That's
are
not a
over
goal
there?
line. That's a line.
That's a line. That's not a lump. That's a body.
Bunga Bunga to death.
Oh, man. So, all right. So, we're going to move on, man. We're going to move on from the boot. We're going to head on up to Spain. Do some La Liga for our other center back
Where
position.
racism goes to the beach.
Oh, man. Anyway, man, we're going to cover the Clásico, Spanish Cup a little later, but a brief preview of La Liga is in order. Right-wing fascists versus leftist liberals. Everyone else left to pick up the middle fingers. Pretty much sounds like America, but it's not. It's La Liga.
Trickle-down economy at its best.
Yeah. Last year, we had Real winning the league.
Yep, they basically made one less mistake than Barca, and Barca were determined not to win the league or Champions League last year, and off the back of winning the league by a nose over Barca, they went and turned a tie game at halftime in the Champions League into a 4-1 stomping of Juventus and come in as the most dominant team Europe has seen since Barca was last dominant.
Yeah, they were pretty impressive last year. Zidane with the back-to-back.
Very underrated manager. He doesn't get enough credit.
His even just his rotation game last
Zinedine
year.
Zidane.
I mean, when you can trot out Morata
and he has a YouTube video, the Zinedine Zidane.
Oh my God, it's so hot too.
It's so getting posted to the fucking Twitter at Diving for Glory.
FOR,
Check
man.
us.
FOR.
Yes, FOR.
Yeah, for sure. But Atleti and Sevilla finished out the top 4 last year. Things look quite ominous for Barca coming forward. So, like, this year, do you still have Real?
Yeah. Real have currently the better starting 11 and the deeper team. Barca have the best player, but they seem to be in a transition with no direction as to where they're going, whereas Real Madrid has a clear identity and multiple players at every position to execute that identity.
Yeah, it's not looking pretty for Barcelona.
The gap, if Barca doesn't fix what they're doing, is getting larger.
I see no trophies for Barcelona this year. None. So with all that being said, the usual big 3, Real, Barcelona, and Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid did wonders in just holding on to their players this summer, but that also means they got a bit older and they have a transfer ban and cannot bring any players in. Do you think they can challenge either Barca or Real?
Definitely not Real, and I don't think they even challenge Barca, because Barca, even though the management is a bunch of nincompoops, they still have managed to get like a really good right back with Nelson Semedo, and they will do other business by the time the transfer window is closed, whereas Atleti have been told they can't do any business. Diego Costa is like having a riot and he can't come over.
Well, here's
They'll never catch them. Like the gap is too big before this. They needed more players to catch them.
But let's talk business. Let's talk about what kind of business would you describe Paulinho as?
Bad.
Like that's a negative.
Bad
a negative
business.
Thing, man.
That is, and the
they
other
should
thing.
be dock points.
Best case scenario, getting Paulinho means that they plan to play a 4-2-3-1 with a double pivot. And if you were gonna do that, it's not like he's in a nice club in Europe. He was in China. Why didn't you just get him earlier and just put him in and start implementing the system? Like, why have you been playing 4-3-3 all through the tours and summer, and you're buying a guy that doesn't fit it for 40 million?
Chinese Super League just made 20 million off him. Made 20 million off a Tottenham reject.
Made 20 million off of a bad 20 million investment.
Damn, man. Those guys are slick, man.
Hey.
The other question, man, for the rest of the league, it's really just a hodgepodge of teams that kind of occupy that 4th spot, at least over the last 5 years or so. Do you see any other teams possibly able to supplant any of those 3?
Well, those 3 right now, they usually rotate over the course of 5 years. A new team might come and go, but it would be Sevilla and Villarreal, and if they get their act right, also Valencia would top this group off. But if there is a team to challenge this, I would go with Betis. They're getting loan players. They have a solid base, and they're actually almost as big as Sevilla in the city of Sevilla. So maybe that team might come close to them. But other than that, that's.
Yeah, the Mangala loss for Valencia really takes him out the running for me.
I know, his touch is very missed.
Man, dude, the way he scores own goals is sublime. I can't even. But he's back in City, man. Pep's going to give him another chance. All right, now that we're done with La Liga, I say we move on to the Krauts. We're Germany.
The Germans.
The Germans, where Bayern has replaced the Nazis as a symbol of German aggression in Europe. The domination that they show is just, man, over the top.
Oh, yeah.
And they won the league last year by 15 points above energy drink Leipzig.
Which was greeted in Bayern with a shrug.
And BVB. BVB. I thought it was me that made the so wild. BVB. Anyway.
BVB.
And Hoffenheim surprise Hoffenheim in fourth.
Hoffenheim with their young coach in fourth. That's actually an interesting story. But the real story last season was RB Leipzig.
Yeah, I mean, they were in the second division a couple years ago, and in the third division about 5 years ago, or roughly.
Basically, in terms of professional football, about 5 years ago, they were non-existent.
Mm-hmm.
Until Red Bull, which is what the RB stands for, even though they tell you that it's like Riebenstraße or some fucking bullshit German shit that means for sports team. It means fucking Red Bull. They're just trying to find a way around it because it's illegal for entities to own a club in Germany because they're mostly publicly owned.
Unless they have enough money.
So they made the stock shares like $1 million a share, shit, so nobody can afford it. So they're like, yeah, I'm a bite. But anyways, they're the most hated team in Germany. They come out the gates flying with Timo Werner and the kid that wants to go to Liverpool.
Keita.
Yes.
Yep.
Keita. The two of them run things. That midfield is beautiful, and they eventually ran out of gas and can't beat Bayern. Ran out of gas to the tune of a 15-point loss.
15 points, man. 15 points.
Yeah, they ran out of gas about halfway line. But they were good. They still had enough gas to beat Dortmund, who came in third.
Yep. Can either of those teams challenge Bayern?
I don't know, man. But first and foremost, big up to Dortmund, who has the American Christian Pulisic.
Yeah.
And the Eritrean Swedish Isaac Alexander on the team. Big up.
True.
Africa.
Yeah, and Pierre.
Obama Young.
Oba.
Who beat Lewandowski to the golden boot or whatever the fuck they call it. And Lewandowski's been mad off.
It's the golden shower in Germany, ain't it?
The golden shower.
Shit.
Oktoberfest.
You know how. Oh, I'm not going for that one, man. At all.
After hours.
All right, man. How do you see it finishing up this year?
Surprise. Bayern Munich with the addition of James Rodriguez, just in case you thought they were not very offensively gifted, will steamroll the fuck out of this league. With Dortmund and RB Leipzig switching places. Dortmund finishes second and Leipzig third. And Hoffenheim to suffer and Leverkusen to take their place.
Boom. There it is. Little kraut for your sausage.
Da. 10 German bombers in the air.
All right, man. We talked a lot about Neymar last week, man, but we're still gonna give a brief little, couple minutes to the French. We also call France Little Africa.
The one criticism of the French league is it's a little bit boring.
Joey Barton
Mr.
showing up.
Barton.
Man, did you peep the accent though?
The one criticism of the French league is it's a little bit boring.
When did he become?
You can hear the estate boy in him.
So bad, man.
But yeah, he's right. It is kind of boring. No bullshit.
Yep.
It's kind of like a scout league. If you like to buy African players, you go there and it's like you go see them. Oh, he can tackle. Mostly because he doesn't get yellow cards for it. Nice.
Is it Mangala from there? Did he originate there? He's French.
He's French, yeah, but he came from Porto, I think.
Porto, yeah, he did.
So
how to finish up last year?
Monaco hit up PSG, won 8 points clear of one of the most expensively assembled teams ever.
107 goals for Monaco.
Boop.
It's crazy. It's just ridiculous.
Yes, and it was all the goals were scored from everybody on the team. Like Falcao, Mbappe, Fabinho, Ben Mendy, like everybody had goals.
You mean what? They ransacked City. Woo! In the
They ran
Champions
all
League.
over them.
Whew, man, it was beautiful to watch.
But anyways, PSG saw that, saw PSG's loss to Barca, and said, you know what? We're going to raise you some Neymar.
Man, I just see dude.
That was the thing that everybody talked about all summer, so fuck it. OGC Nice. Hip-hop's representatives in France.
Oh, yeah. So,
OGC, Helter Skelter, we the best, y'all. 5-5 slam
So-
from east to west, y'all.
So that's-
yes, y'all. We
Yes,
got
yes,
Wesley
y'all.
Snyder, y'all, to go with Balotelli, y'all.
so that's a good question. Is that the most thuggish duo since Mobb Deep? Wesley Snyder and Mario Balotelli.
Especially since Ben Mendy and Bakayoko have left France.
All right, one other quick question about the French League, Ligue 1, Ligue 1.
Oh,
Is there any other reason to tune in other than Neymar and Mbappe? Assuming Mbappe's even there.
well, if you put it that way, you should check out. If he stays for the season, Jean-Michel Seri out of OGC Nice again and again, time and time again, the most entertaining place in the world.
Doesn't he make clothes? Jean-Michel.
Yeah, and they're very nice.
Very nice. Greg Nice.
You should check. But that dude is like if Andrea Pirlo and Xavi had a baby, and he was black. So yeah, that guy.
Smooth Balotelli and Greg Nice.
Yes.
All right, that's our hip hop
Yes,
quota
that's
for
another way.
the show.
And by hip hop we mean really old hip hop.
Aging ourselves. Give me your top three, man.
PSG to win it, followed by OGC Nice, and then Monaco.
Boom. Balotelli.
Fourth place, Lyon.
Balotelli with the 20 stack.
Yeah, Balotelli,
Man, I
20 goal
wish.
striker behind Snyder assists.
That would be awesome, man. In our dream world.
Yes, he'll get sent off right when they reach contention.
Man, we have been trying to stay organized. We've been peppered with so many shots, man. I think the back four is done. We need to go ahead and move on to the midfield.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Now we on to the midfield for some
welcome
attack
back.
play. We're going to hit you off with our 3 games of the week. We're going to step back to the EPL and look at Arsenal versus Leicester, which opened up the season. Freddie,
Yes.
Sir Solomon, tell us a little bit about that.
This game pretty much blew the door off the opening of the season. Arsenal-Leicester. Arsene Wenger completely outthinks himself straight into a corner. He comes out with a 3-man back that has Downing playing on it, and like what the? Who the
I
heck
didn't
was
even
that?
realize that dude was there in the Premier League still. Like,
And then I saw like Shaqiri was on the bench. Like who's the?
Shakira,
Yeah, that dude was on the bench.
Shaka.
And he like Granit Xhaka had an amazing game. He like ran the most out of everybody, more than 7 kilometers, which I don't know in Swiss francs is what.
Yep.
But he also had 2 assists. Once Arsenal came back to playing their standard 4-man defense with players that were on the bench that should have started playing, then it became Arsenal sweeping Leicester to the side.
Yep. So we had a Vardy party.
2
And
Vardy parties.
2 Vardy parties.
Double party.
Which Arsenal went down. No, they it was one. Arsenal went up. to
Yeah.
a Lacazette goal within 5 minutes.
Debut goal. 2 minutes, I think.
Yep, 2 minutes, and then 5 minutes. I think it was Vardy.
Yeah.
Then Okazaki, the first
Okazaki.
with the header. They kicked the header to the shortest
My
guy on the field.
My second favorite, Shinji. Kagawa.
So, all right. And then Olivier Giroud the Damager.
Giroud the Damager.
Super sub.
He hates the name Super Sub, but he does it so well. He comes and finishes it off. Just Danny Welbeck, who never scores. He does everything great except his job, which is to score. This game he scored. Aaron Ramsey comes off the bench and takes one. The Welsh Javi Ramzinho.
So two of the subs scored, and Theo, I think, was the third sub, and Theo Walcott, him of Zoot Suit fame. They made a huge difference because Arsene just put the wrong team out there, and
when you look at the squad and like you see El Neni and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and all these cats playing, and you look at the bench and you see Alex Iwobi and Ramzinho.
But Ox had a good game.
He had a good game, but like mostly because the way that shit formation was forced the ball into his possession a lot. He kicked a lot of crosses that were useless, so his cross stats went up. Like he made a lot of runs because he was playing as a wingback, so his distance covered went up, but it wasn't an effective display.
Okay. Overall,
but it got him to be worth 25 million on the market.
To where?
Chelsea. They're about to get him.
Yeah, one of my buddies said that, and the other guy said, "Well, give us Willian." I'm like, "Well, just trade syphilis for gonorrhea." Like I don't understand.
Will I ain't.
Either way, Jermaine Jackson's illegitimate son. So overall thoughts.
Overall thoughts. Almost Arsenal. This situation. If only Riyad Mahrez did not his Arsenal tryout and just completely no-show the event, it might have been something. But as it is, good 3 points. Entertaining game.
Player of the match.
Shaka Khan. Granit Xhaka, who had 2 assists and covered the most ground of any player on the team, on the field.
What was that, Ace Ventura? Shaka. Some shot. Anyway, man. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move on to our next game. We're going to stay in England. Defending Premier League champions Chelsea.
Campiones.
At home at the Bridge. Bridge is over versus
Bridge is over.
Burnley something.
Yes, led by Dyche. Sean Dyche. A man who looked at Conte's intricate defensive schemes and 3-man defenses and Antonio Rudiger purchases, shrugged, and sets free Sam Vokes to just wreak havoc.
What? Sam Vokes?
Yeah, Sam Vokes
scored
a peach and another goal, but an amazing performance. Not in any part lessened by the fact that Gary the Barbarian just decided to turn into a complete moron and get sent off early in the first half.
Peace. Red. Done. He was done so quick. He's getting 2 games, right? 2 games for that, for a straight red?
I don't know. I think it might be 3, actually.
Wow. That would be tough. Who they even have to fill that role?
Well, they're going to have to do a Rudiger and Luiz partnership, and we'll see if it's going to be a 3-man or a 4-man.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But by halftime, what we thought was the talking point was going to be that Mishi the Bishi started over Mortuada, but that was not the case. They were now looking at 3-0 down, and Morata comes on, has what would be considered the perfect individual debut with a goal and an assist, but they brought him on a day late and $1 short. Chelsea get fucked up.
Yep, 3-2 loss.
Take it on the chin.
The Morata assist was so nice to me, man. That was a nice header to Luis.
Yeah, he did his thing. Morata is, I think he's going to be actually a success for them. That penalty miss was just over magnified because there was no football happening.
So to be fair to Mortuata, we have to look at Conte now and hey man, what the fuck were you doing? Why did you? I mean, he tried to cover himself, like, hey.
He is covering himself by claiming in every press conference that he wants more players. So, and it's kind of true because they are a very thin squad.
It's true. It's true. It's true. Overall impressions from the game.
Overall impressions: Fabregas added insult to injury by getting sent off and making their lives much more difficult in their next game against against Tottenham. Now they have no Hazard, no Fabregas, no
Cahill,
no Pedro, who was also sent off for a meaningless game.
Yep.
And
Pedro's already playing with like a fractured eye socket.
yes, and Tottenham's good to injure a couple more of your players.
Yeah, it's not a good week to be missing four key players.
They might start off the season with a 6-point deficit.
No. Well, considering that run they went on last year, that might be good for the rest of the league.
They hate defending titles.
Oh yeah, nah. Only once, right? They did it back to back.
Yeah.
Player of the match.
I really want to give it to Gary Cahill.
Player of the match for Burnley, Gary Cahill, right?
Yes. Coach of the match for Burnley, Antonio Conte. No.
Yeah, exactly.
But Sam Vokes. Wicked performance. 2 amazing goals.
I'm on the Volkswagen, son.
Yes.
I'm on the Volkswagen.
Drop top.
He worked out, man. Who scored gave him a 9.
Yeah.
Like,
destroying people.
It's pretty nasty.
Yeah.
All right,
Ahead of Lacazette, Morata, and tied with Lukaku.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. The 3 main strikers. We'll get to that a little later.
Yes.
Clásico. We're going to move on to our third game.
El Clásico.
The Clásico in the Spanish Super Cup. Largely irrelevant, but it's a Clásico.
In España, the El Clásico is so boring. They play it 2 times.
Oh man! So tell us. I'm shedding tears. As I
So
think about
from this
game.
league that takes themselves so seriously that they play a pre-season friendly home and away before the season starts.
God.
Real Barcelona. Always good for a good game, right? Wrong. Boring first half, followed by a trouncing in the second half.
A trouncing.
I mean, that's pretty much what happened.
Pretty much.
And Luka Modric didn't even play. Ronaldo came as the sub, the most impactful sub we have seen in recent history.
Yep.
Take it away. What did my boy do? Fucking guy.
This dude walks in the game. He fucking scores. I'm in a beautiful goal with the little Iron Robin, cut in. It's just ridiculous, of course. But that placement was sick.
Then he does the steal Messi's jersey celebration.
Yeah, that was vicious, man.
Yes.
He holds it to the crowd.
Yeah, kind of stick it to them.
Unfortunately, we have to look at another annoying orange man
yes.
on the scene these days. And so
after he picked up a goal and a yellow card in the same move. And then
on his way down to potentially score the deal breaker, the third goal to put them up 3-1 on Barcelona, he bites the dust.
Takes a tumble. Tough call. I thought it was a no call.
Gets booked for simulation.
Yes, he was diving for glory. Luis did it better at the other end earlier in the game.
Hold up. I'm just lying about that, aren't I? No, he got that and the red. He got the simulation, then he got the red.
He got the simulation, so he got the second yellow, after which he decided to give the referee a little love tap, which we have found out, cost him the next leg of the Supercopa plus 4 league games.
I would say that would matter a little bit, but actually it's going to work. It's like that
You'll
year
probably just adopt another son or get
I don't know. He spend the time to get a deeper curl to his S curl, a better spray tan.
Sons don't think I'm heterosexual.
But he either way, man. Clásico, end of the day, your overall impression, it wasn't pretty for Barcelona.
It was a mauling, and it was two teams at very different points in their projects. And if Barcelona does not complete some more business at the end of this transfer window, it's going to be atrocious. But Madrid looks just spectacular. I hate to say it, fuck Madrid, but they are clearly the best team in Europe.
Yeah, absolutely. Deulofeu was a joke out there on the wing. The midfield looked old and creaky. They just didn't know the game planning.
Spacing, they were too far. Everybody was too isolated.
So
There was
many
no
crosses.
ball movement. There was no the runs.
So many crosses.
So many crosses, and then they would try the through ball, and then pull back, move
Over
but like
and over.
everybody on Madrid knew that. I knew that. I was on my couch.
But all they're doing is kicking it in there for the header. But the header to who?
Exactly. And basically Madrid was like shadow Messi and let everybody else do what they want. And it looks like the new coach does not have them ticking or tacking.
No, not at all, man. Player of the match.
Player of the match.
It's a no-brainer.
The busiest man that did the least work. Ronaldo. It was tempting to give it to Asensio, who scores in his debut in every competition that he plays in. But it has to be everybody's favorite Syracuse graduate. Because he's an orange man.
Ronaldo. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations. All right. So that's the midfield all wrapped up.
Yes,
all
indeed.
nice and tidy. We're going to go ahead and move on to the strikers. All right. So on our left wing coming in, we're going to look at the three big striker signings in the Premier League. Lacazette for Arsenal, Lukaku for Manchester United, and Morata for Chelsea. All of them scored, and some had 2 goals, or 2 points, let's just put it that way, as Morata had a goal and an assist, Lukaku had a brace, and Lacazette had a goal.
Yes.
That's pretty major when it's all said and done, like for
They
pay
all had
dividends
pretty.
immediately. Who had the best game?
Who had the best game? It has to be out of the 3 of them, definitely Romelu Lukaku. It's wedded his performance plus the team's performance of dominance and the fact that he scored the most goals out of them and his team is top of the league.
He did
It's
exactly what he's like supposed to do too. It
Yes.
was nasty.
He created havoc.
He did. I thought Lacazette looked good, man.
No, they all did. Like, actually, I think Morata looked really good. Lacazette looked really good. But I have to say, my man Steve from Huddersfield has to be mentioned, man. It's just because they got bought for 70 million and stuff. This guy came from the lower division.
The Grand
He scored
Meunier.
2 goals.
The Grand Meunier
The Grand Meunier
will be mentioned a bit later.
Yes,
But we were only
they
talking
call
about
him
the big.
S&M.
We're talking about the.
Steve and Meunier.
We're talking about the premier sign, the big signings, the big money signings. That's what we were focusing on here. So I just want, who do you think though, is in the best situation to succeed going forward?
Going forward, I think the conversation has to be between Lukaku and Morata initially, because like they're the bigger name, bigger signings, and they're also the ones on clubs where we don't even know what's going to happen. Is it going to be really successful, or are they going to fall off? Whereas Lacazette is going to be good, but Arsenal is also going to be good, and it's all going to be good, you know?
Yeah, and especially if they keep Alexis.
There's no potential for great. Whereas with Pogba and Lukaku's partnership, I see a lot of potential for great. If Hazard and Morata get along, there's a lot of potential. Fabregas is good for like 12 assists a season, man. To one player.
It's true. As long as he's on the field.
Yeah. So if I had to put my money behind it, I would choose Lukaku.
Okay.
Because he is the one person who has a record of scoring in England out of these guys.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. 20 plus goals over the past couple years at least, right? Yeah.
Not as impressive as Sergio Aguero, who has scored against every Premier League team he has faced except Bolton, who only was around in his first season.
Bolton, really? Damn.
And so he never gets the chance to score on them and fix this record.
Damn. No doubt. Aguero.
Sergio Aguero, City champion.
Okay, well, let's move on. But before we do though, we got to give a shout out, man, to the old guard because they definitely showed up on the striker side. Rooney,
Vardy party,
and the Vardy party with the brace, man. Like the old English boys.
Rooney scored 1 goal. People might say like others scored more, but his 1 goal got them all 3 points. Start counting the fucking points that Wayne Rooney's getting them.
Yeah, man, bastard.
Shrek is back.
Shrek. All right, so we're gonna move on. Our award section, our right winger. So let's get on with this, man. Speaking of strikers, who's the dude of the week?
The man S&M.
Mounier.
Steven Mounier. Benin's finest.
Yeah, man, you just don't. I mean, it's Crystal Palace, man, but damn, you just show up and you put a 3-0.
Hey, this is not a yearly award. This week he was impressive. He came out of nowhere.
I know.
He slew them nice. We like the result. We like it's Huddersfield.
Oh, but I was definitely going to give him props though because man, they were away and they just waxed them.
Yeah,
Mounier.
He just and he carried a new brand into existence. Like,
true.
Nobody knows fucking Huddersfield. Now you can go to Ghana and they'll be like, yeah, Steven Mounier, Huddersfield. Fucked up them boys.
It's true. All right, our twat happened moment of the week goes to
the man they call Immobile. Ciro Immobile.
Immobilarity.
Whose 2 goals just completely had Juventus on the back foot. They came back later, scored 2 goals and Paulo Dybala tried to carry Juventus back, but Ciro Immobile had done the damage. Exposed Juventus as a still shaky team since the loss of Bonucci and brought home the Italian Super Cup. Big up Ciro.
In a 93rd minute goal.
Yes.
Done. 2-2 game, 3-2 Lazio.
Yes, it was supposed to go, I think, to overtime, and he was like, neat.
No, sir. So, our next section is going to be our injury update brought to you by
Andy Carroll.
And our who is our big injury for this week?
Well, since Arsenal Football Club has been a long-time sponsor of injury reports, we will go to
Alexis Sanchez, the dirty one.
Dirty Sanchez.
With a chest injury, maybe
yes,
his heart,
chesticle, I think.
Chesticle,
something like that. He's not feeling good,
and it's only fair to mention that
he's hurting
also
in his transfer.
Very much. He looked like he was hurting watching the game.
Yeah, he also looked like he had a little Ike Turner thing going on with his girl.
Watch the game. You gonna watch the game.
That's not how you watch the game, anime.
It's also fair to mention that also on our injury report is Andy Carroll.
Yes, always.
Totally out for West Ham. Our annoying transfer rumor of the week goes to
Phil Coutinho and 2 clubs, his destination and his current club being run by a bunch of clowns does not help his situation.
Let me guess. He sent a dick pic to Instagram with Barcelona tattooed on the tip or something, right?
Oh no, this
Isn't
guy
that how
just
they
kept
announce shit
quiet
these
and
days?
then finally announced an official transfer by email. But the Liverpool club decided they would like to share this with the world and said they're refusing it.
Leakers everywhere.
Is the team that's trying to keep him? We're playing. We saw them. They're shit. The team that's buying him are shit. He's kind of fucked right now.
Boom. Fucked. Agreed.
Fuck him.
I think that's our award section for the week. So let's go ahead and move on from our center forward, our final striker, our number 9. It's going to be the games to watch for the week. We're going to run it down for you real quick.
Yes,
Tuesday,
yes.
we got the Young Boys versus Moscow in the Champions League.
No Young Boys for me. I'm not trying to be on To Catch a Predator.
Are you not going to touch that, man?
No, can't touch
that. All right. That game will be over anyway by the time anybody would hear this. Wednesday, Champions League, Napoli-Nice.
OGC for a win.
Versus Naples. All right, so that's on Wednesday. Also on Wednesday, is the Classico.
Okay,
Part
next.
2. Bernabeu. Friday, Bundesliga opens with Bayern Munich versus Bayer Leverkusen.
So you got any gas on that steamroll?
Man, Bayer, aren't they the people that do the
killing
aspirin?
in the door, yes.
They do the aspirin, right? They're gonna need a lot of aspirin for that ass.
Oh yeah.
For that ass
Get
whooping.
rocked.
Yes, sir. Saturday, more fucking German games. Schalke, Leipzig, BVB, Wolfsburg.
9. Actually, hell 9.
No, yet.
Hell 9.
Yet. Who gives a fuck? Sunday, we actually have some real games. Tottenham, Chelsea. It's not even a 3-point line. It's at Wembley, friendly Wembley.
Oh yeah, because there's no bacon at the lane.
Nope.
I'm looking forward to that game. I think Tottenham will slap them around a little bit. Chelsea doesn't have an identity right now. Let's go.
Yep. Inter Fiorentina, Serie A.
Fiorentina's always an interesting team to watch. They're fun. They don't get as much results as they do, but they always unlock the big teams. Inter is trying to be a big team again. Should be a fun game.
All right. I'm going to go over to Francais real quick. PSG, Toulouse.
Yeah, money grabbing cunt. Fuck off, Neymar, Brazil.
Also,
yeah, they're going to fucking steamroll them.
Yeah, also with a goal and assist on his debut. So,
Yeah.
Remember Toulouse had the wonderful goal last week.
I would like to mention at this moment that Radamel Falcao had 3 touches, 3 shots, and 3 goals for a hat-trick for a team that was not supposed to be in competition with PSG.
Oh, true, Monaco. Atalanta, Roma, Serie A.
Ah, yes, it's gonna suck.
Yeah, but you get to watch Edin Checo. Checo yo ho.
Check yourself. Check on yourself before you wreck on yourself.
Checo yo ho. And if you're not hungover and you get to skip work, or if you are hungover and skip work on Monday, you can watch Man City Everton at the Etihad.
Yes. New look Everton, new look Man City. Should be a fun game. We'll see how it goes. Not calling that.
At home. City.
I'll tell you this much: if
City 3-1.
if Pep Guardiola fights Ronald Koeman, it'll be a skunking by Koeman.
Thank you. The Barca boys. The Barca boys.
It's the Barca boys. I prefer the Toure boys. Yeah, Toure Colo. And with this, you know that this show has gone on too long.
It don't really
It's
flow
time to
right
shut
when
down.
it's Ronald. Nah, that don't go. Yo, check us out, man. Pep Corciola, my man Sir Solomon.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much.
Man, hit us up on Twitter, Diving for Glory, FOR.
And remember, Jamie Vardy had a party.
Man, follow us, Diving for Glory podcast.
At Diving for Glory.
At Diving for Glory podcast. 1.
We will be tweeting.
He's not a man. There's nothing more to say.
diving.